Welcome back to What Is, the channel where we take life's biggest questions and attempt to answer them without getting stung. Today, we're tackling one of the ocean's most elegant, terrifying, and profoundly confusing residents, the jellyfish. You've seen them drifting, pulsating, shimmering like a biological lava lamp. They are the epitome of form over function, possessing a beauty that often masks a fundamental biological truth. They are mostly just water, organized aggressively. So, what exactly is a jellyfish? First, let's clear up what they absolutely are not. Despite the name, they are not fish. They have no gill, no fins, and critically, no spine. These are invertebrates belonging to the phylum Cnidaria group that also includes corals and sea anemones. They are ancient, truly ancient. We're talking over 500 million years of evolutionary success. Dinosaurs came and went. Mammals rose and fell. But the jellyfish just kept on bobbing. Their secret, a delightful commitment to simplicity. A jellyfish is essentially a bell, a mouth, and a fringe of tentacles. About 95% of its mass is water. That other 5% is dedicated to digestion, movement, and weapons manufacturing. Speaking of weapons, let's talk anatomy. The bell, or the medusa, contracts to propel the animal through the water. It doesn't have a brain in the traditional sense, but it does have a network of nerves, a nerve net, that allows it to sense light, gravity, and the presence of food. But the real action happens in the tentacles. These are armed with millions of microscopic cells called nematocysts. Think of a nematocyst as a harpoon gun, preloaded with venom, stored under intense pressure when a tentacle brushes against prey, or, occasionally, an unlucky swimmer. The change in pressure causes the microscopic harpoon to fire instantly, injecting neurotoxins or heat. It is one of the fastest biological processes known to science. They don't bite, they instantly venom inject. For certain smaller jellyfish, this venom is just enough to paralyze a tiny crustacean. For others, like the box jellyfish, it's powerful enough to cause cardiac arrest in a human. They are, pound for watery pound, the most passive assassins in the ocean. Now, let's get into the sheer weirdness of their life cycle. A jellyfish starts life not as the bell, but as a tiny, attached creature called a polyp. This polyp eventually buds, releasing tiny young jellyfish, called ephora, into the water. But there is one species that has truly mastered the art of existential defiance. Toratopsis dohrnii, better known as the immortal jellyfish. When this jellyfish is stressed, injured, or simply old, it doesn't die. It pulls a biological U-turn. It reverts back into its polyp stage, like a real-life, aquatic Benjamin Button, starting its life cycle entirely over again. It can repeat this process indefinitely. The jellyfish is potentially immortal, and their diversity is astounding. They range from the tiny, almost invisible Irukandji jellyfish, which, despite being smaller than a thumbnail, delivers a sting so agonizing it can mimic a major health crisis, to the massive lion's mane jellyfish. These jellyfish are the giants of the group, with bells reaching 7 feet in diameter and tentacles stretching over 100 feet, making them longer than a blue whale. So, why do we need them? They sting, squish, and occasionally are deadly. In the ecosystem, jellyfish are critical food sources for sea turtles and certain fish, and they play a massive, if often misunderstood, role in the deep ocean carbon cycle. They are ocean vacuum cleaners, pulsing their way through marine snow and nutrients. But in recent decades, their popularity has exploded due to warming oceans and overfishing of their natural predators and competitors. Jellyfish populations are skyrocketing. Globally, a phenomenon scientists call jellyfish blooms. They clog fishing nets, shut down coastal power plants, and sometimes turn entire beaches into biohazardous no-go zones. They are not just weird animals, they are indicators of a changing planet. A jellyfish, in the end, is a miracle of evolutionary minimalism. It is a creature without a heart, yet it pulses with life. Without a brain, yet it is deadly efficient. And without bones, yet it has survived 500 million years of history. It's just water, venom, and raw, eternal existence. Thank you for watching this deep dive into the world of gelatinous nightmares. If you learned something new, please hit that like button and subscribe to What Is. For more answers to humanity's most confusing questions, we'll see you next time.